What's been going on with housing market since the beginning of the year? Well, in order to answer that question, it's important to go back essentially 18 to 24 months. During the pandemic, some of the aggressive monetary policies reduced rates, and that had a big impact on mortgage availability and mortgage rates. We saw a big reduction in mortgage rates, and that drove a lot of people to the housing market. What that did is essentially reduce the historical housing inventory that on average is about 5 to 6 months. And what that really means that if no houses were added to the market, because of the way the market works, it would take about 5 to 6 months to essentially wipe out on the inventory of existing housing units. Well, during the pandemic, the number in some areas got down to as low as 1 month inventory, 1.5 in some areas. So those are historically low numbers. With the tightening of rates in March 2022, what we saw was an inventory buildup as housing became less affordable in terms of having high prices and high mortgage rates. What did happen is the properties started to pile up, and that number was brought up to a more historical number around 5 to 6 months. And that's what we have seen since the summer of 2022, and this number has continued throughout right now. So with the current high level of mortgage rates and adjustment on prices, I think that's going to stabilize the number around that level of 5 to 6 months. The million-dollar question these days is to what extent mortgage rates have already peaked or not. Depending on the direction inflation move, mortgage rates could be increasing in the upcoming months, or they could be either leveling off and decreasing depending on the path of inflation. So if one wants to follow closely what is likely to happen with the mortgage rate, what one should do is look closely at what happens with the 10-year Treasury, because the 10-year Treasury is a pretty good predictor of what's going to happen with 30-year mortgage rates. For more information on this topic or others, go to stlouisfed.org.